Hey you guys, what's up? My name is Ellen. This is my very first YouTube video. I am super nervous, super excited, but I'm going to be doing this makeup look for you guys today, so I hope you guys like it, and here we go. So to start, I'm going to use the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. I always switch to this one in the winter. I find that it's just a little bit heavier than something I would use in the summer. It just sinks into the skin really nicely, and it's my go-to for whenever I'm doing my winter makeup. And it's also really nice for sensitive skin. I also actually put on some of this lip mask. I find that this is amazing, especially before I put on all my makeup. It just kind of puts a little bit of a barrier on your lips. I'll probably be wiping this off once I decide to do like my lip liner, but for now we're just gonna keep our lips hydrated and keep that on. I always feel so blasé, for lack of a better word, when I am super pale and feeling very gray almost in the winter. So one thing I like to do is I like to use this Vita Liberta body blur. This stuff is amazing just for your body, especially in the summer when you want like to look airbrushed on like all over your body. But what I'll do is I'll just take a little bit of this and put it on my face before I start putting on my makeup, because it just kind of like adds a little bit of a glow and it makes me look tanned and like I've just been at the beach, but really I live in a gross, cold place. So this helps us out a lot. I'm just gonna put a little bit on my fingers and apply it like I would any other foundation, really, with my hands. Oh my god, it's so dark, but we'll blur it out. I think we're good. I'm gonna go in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. This is one of my absolute favorites. I am using the color 2W1 Dawn. I find that this stuff will just stay on my skin all day, and especially if I have a good moisturized face, this stuff just kind of sinks in really nicely to the skin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna basically apply it to my hand. I like to take my finger, kind of dab it in, and then just spot treat my face. I don't like to get a ton under my eyes because I find that we're gonna use concealer and you don't want to just like keep taking on makeup. So right now we're just gonna use the Beauty Blender to completely blend it out. Get the neck. I'm gonna go in with my MAC concealer pot. I honestly, wait, what color is this? NW25. This has been my go-to concealer for years. It is very thick. The coverage on it is amazing. There's just some MAC products that I love, and this is one of them. Just applying a bit to my finger, and then I'm just gonna go into kind of my problem areas, so just around my nose, and then basically anywhere that I have blemishes, which I have this little guy right here, so we're gonna cover him up. I love to use my fingers a lot. I find that it warms up the product and it blends out really nice. Now to get this pimple, we're gonna have to like use my tongue to push out my skin so that it smooths it out, and then I can really get in there with my concealer. The last thing I like to do with this concealer pot is just put a little bit right on the inner corners of my eyes, because I find it has a little bit of a yellowy undertone to it. So it's really good for just like getting that darkness out of your eyes, and it also just makes it a lot more natural because the under eye concealer that I'm going to use is a little bit lighter. We're going to go in with the liquid concealer. So what I'm using is Pat McGrath LM8 Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer. So I'm just gonna use a little bit. I'm gonna put it right here, maybe there, right there. I used to like use so much and like do the whole triangle thing. I don't know if you guys did that. It was like in for a hot second, but I know now it's too much. Now I'm going in with my Beauty Blender and we're just gonna blend it. I'll just like put the excess on my nose just to lighten it up a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna just go back in now around my nose and on my blemish with my Studio Fix Powder Plus from MAC. This stuff, I swear to God, will keep your makeup in place all day. The coverage is unbelievable. So I'm gonna go in with this like little mini Sephora brush. I always use these two together. I'm just gonna go around my nose, and then for the blemish, I'm gonna actually use the sponge. So I'm gonna apply there, and then I also do find that I get like hormonal acne just along here, and like it's not completely even, so we're gonna just get a little coverage. Now that we've got that done, we're just gonna go in with the blemish now. And what I like to do is just take the sponge and then we're spot treating. And then, because you can kind of like see where I did that, right? This is just the Hourglass concealer brush, and I'm just gonna kind of clean it up around the blemish spot, just to blend it. I'm not looking for a completely like full face of makeup, but we might get pretty close here. Next, I'm going to go in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I'm obsessed with this. Whenever I don't have it on, I can always tell like my makeup just does not set the same, it doesn't look the same, and this stuff just keeps everything locked in. And we're gonna let this sit for a while. I also like to put it on the tip of my nose and a little bit on my forehead. Personal preference. Okay, so while this is sitting, we're gonna go in and do brows now. What I'm gonna use is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I find that I've used so many expensive brow pencils, and this one is like better than all of them. I might have to use my mirror for this. Basically what I like to do is I start at the bottom and I like to draw a line here just to trace out what I'm gonna draw in. And then I like to brush up. We're just filling in any of those bald spots. So I know it can look a little bit aggressive right now, but we'll brush it out and it'll blend it all in. So now what I like to do is trace underneath my eye. And now what I'm gonna do is fill in part of the top. Basically anywhere that's looking really bald, I'll just stroke in some little hairs. Now we're gonna brush it all out. I'm gonna go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Eyebrow Gel. So I brush up and then I kind of start going diagonal as I get closer to the tails. Can't forget about this translucent powder. I'm gonna just use a Sephora. This is the Pro Precision Powder Brush in 59, and I'm just gonna sweep away any of this excess. Another drugstore product, and also another NYX product that I really like, is the NYX Wonder Stick. I find that it's a pretty cool cream stick, but I'm just gonna put a little bit on my nose. I start kind of like on the inner part of my eyes, and then come down my nose. It's not perfect, but we'll blend. And then I do a little V on my nose like that. I don't know which brush this is, but it's a little bit thicker, it's a little bit dense, and I'm just gonna blend. And I like to blend it into my eye. And then what I'll do is I'll just go in with the back of my Beauty Blender and press in the rest. Okay, so today we're gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer, and this is in 2 medium. And what I'm gonna do is use a Sephora contour brush. I like little brushes when I'm doing my bronzer. It just gives me more control, I find. I feel like I can be a little bit more intentional with where I'm putting my bronzer. Just gonna load this up on my brush. And basically what I'm gonna do is just bronze top part of my cheekbone, pretty standard. And I like to do it in a circular motion. And then we're also gonna do the forehead, chin, and then I also like to do underneath like my jawline. Kind of creates more of like a chiseled jaw, but we also want to blend it down into your neck. I love bronzer. I could just like pack this on all day. Next, we're going to do blush. I'm gonna go with a cool tone blush. This is from Makeup Forever. This stuff is just very, very good every day. So what I'm gonna use is the Sephora 99 brush. This is just their basic blush brush, I believe. Pro Blush 99. I'm gonna try and keep it a bit higher and like push it up towards my cheekbones a bit. Blush is the best. I'm gonna go in on my eyes. So we're gonna use this little duo palette. I made this specifically because it's just perfect for like traveling. I'm gonna go in with this one, and I'm gonna just use like a brush that looks like this. I find that my eyes are very deep in my face, and I was always doing eyeshadow so wrong, I've learned. What I would do is I would like put it right in the crease, and then when I look directly at somebody, you can't see it because it's like so far in my eyes. So what I've learned is it needs to go a little bit above the crease so that you can kind of like get the shadow effect and actually see it. And I'm just gonna do a circular motion right above my crease. So I'm just gonna go in with my bigger, fluffier brush now blend that out even more. So I'm gonna go in with the flatter brush with this color, and we're gonna go basically along the crease, anywhere on the inner part of my eyelid. So now that I have it on, we're gonna just blend it even more. Okay, lastly, I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. This goes to show how much of the bronzer I've used. I love this stuff. I've already bought another one, but I can still use the highlight on this side. I'm gonna use this Morphe M438. Now I'm just gonna pinch it. I like to just do a little bit down my nose. I might use my finger too. Above the lip, a little above the brow. This stuff, honestly, you can't go wrong with, and it's really hard to use a lot of it, but it just gives you such like a nice candlelit glow. We're gonna use Urban Decay All Nighter long lasting spray. We're just gonna spray my entire face. And I use a lot. Okay, next we're gonna do mascara, and we're gonna use the L'Oreal Telescopic. I think the reason why I love it so much is because it individually gets every single lash, but I'm also really picky with the fact that I find that some mascaras, I always get that like line above my eye, and this stuff does not come off onto your face. You don't get any of like that weird like black line above your eye. I never used to put it on my under eyes, but this stuff I always put on my under eyes because it doesn't get anywhere. Like it just stays on your lashes where it's supposed to be. So first I'm just gonna curl them really quickly with my Shiseido curler. I like to get in as close to the root as possible and then like wiggle its way up my lash. So this is the first step at least. So then I like to take the end of it and then kind of go in individually, and this just helps lengthen them a bit. The nice thing about this mascara as well is I find that it's really hard for it to get clumpy. Like you can just keep putting it on and on and on, and your lashes stay pretty separated. Okay, we're gonna go in and do the lower lashes now. We're so close to being done. We're just gonna do lips as the last part. We're gonna be using the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Liner. So I've just taken off the lip mask that I had on, and basically I'm gonna overline a little bit on the top here, but otherwise I'm gonna probably try and stick as close to my lips as possible. This lip liner is literally just like, it's like your lips but better. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like iconic. It's iconic nude. It's amazing. We're gonna fill in the rest of the lips with Marc Jacobs lip liner, and this one is Nudist. As you can see, I love my nude lip liners. This one's a bit creamier than the Charlotte Tilbury, so it's good for filling in the rest of your lip. I don't want my lips to dry out, and I want them to look a little bit more natural. So I go back in with the Laneige sleeping mask, and I'm just gonna put a layer of this on top over the liner, and it gives like a nice healthy sheen as well. Now that I have my lip mask on, I'm gonna go in lastly with my KKW. No, it's Kim KW. This is a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. It's Kim Kardashian, and it's like a lighter nude, and I'm just gonna put it in the center of my lip just to lighten it up a little. And there we go. I think we're done. So this is the final look. This is like my everyday winter makeup, especially if I was going into the office. I find that I do like to wear makeup, but keep it somewhat natural, nothing too loud, I guess. But it definitely still is a bit of a full face. I do need it to kind of stay in place for at least the 8 hours when I'm at work. But yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, this is my very first YouTube. I am so nervous, and I feel like I am probably just like holding back so much. I just want to share so much with you guys, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and it would mean so much to me if you guys liked this video and you guys subscribe to my channel. I plan on doing a lot more makeup tutorials. I also am getting married this year, and I'm very on the fence about doing my own makeup, but I definitely want to do a couple videos around that. So if you guys want to see that, also want to hear what you guys want to see as well. So please comment below if you guys have any requests. I hope that I will see you guys again soon, and thank you so much. Love you.